Federal judges want answers. They want to know who the hell is running DOJ. Who are the people? They're being told that someone named Amy Gleason or someone's now running DOJ, but that wasn't the person who was previously supposed to be running DOJ. Everyone believed that was Elon Musk. Then they said that Elon Musk is actually a special advisor to Donald Trump. And then lawyers have been pulling the short straw and walking in front of these federal judges. And the federal judges would be asking otherwise pretty simple answers in cases involving organizations like who's running it. Like, could you imagine a federal case where, I don't know, a telecommunications company or a cable company or an owner of a business shows up and the lawyers are there and the judge asks the lawyer, so who's the president of the company? Who's the CEO of the company? Who's running it? And the lawyer goes, Judge, it's a good question. I don't know. I can tell you from experience being in front of federal judges, in most circumstances, that lawyer would probably be seriously sanctioned or warned just once before there were serious ramifications to the status of that lawyer. But we're seeing it now over and over again with these government lawyers for Trump showing up. We don't know, can't answer those questions. And judges are getting pissed. So let's pull back a little bit, Harry. Let me show you. This is from a few days ago after the Trump administration announced this Amy Gleason person that nobody knew was running DOJ, that they said she's running DOJ. Here's what Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary for the White House, had to say. Play it.
Did you announce her position to the rest of the DOJ staff?
Everybody knew, and we said who she was to all of you because you are hounds in the media who are so obsessed with this for some reason. So in the effort of transparency, we told you who that person is. There are so many bigger things in the world than who the DOJ administrator is. But for some reason, everybody in the press corps is so obsessed with this that you were incessantly asking. So we thought, okay, we will be transparent. So now you know who it is. Any further questions?
As our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, said, everybody knew except for all the lawyers appearing in the court cases for the Trump administration
and the whole country
lawsuits, who repeatedly said in multiple courtrooms that they didn't know. Pravda Leavitt thinks she's talking on to a Fox host or people at a Trump rally instead of people who know their stuff. And Harry, here she is about a few days before that, where she was asked who the DOJ administrator is. This was in the White House. Play it.
Hey, thanks, Caroline. I wanted to ask about a federal judge yesterday was saying that they didn't know who the DOJ administrator was and was asking the lawyer for the administration who it was, and the lawyer responded, I don't know the answer to that. Can you tell us who the administrator of DOJ is?
Again, I've been asked and answered this question. Elon Musk is overseeing DOJ. There are career No, Elon Musk is a special government employee, which I've also been asked and have answered that question as well. There are career officials at DOJ. There are political appointees at DOJ. I'm not going to reveal the name of that individual from this podium. I'm happy to follow up and provide that to you. But we've been incredibly transparent about the way that DOJ is working. John.
So, Harry, get this. On Friday, there was a 3-hour preliminary injunction hearing in a lawsuit alleging that Elon Musk and DOJ are violating the appointments clause of the Constitution. Ann Bauer, great reporter, she's covering it. A federal judge grew frustrated with the government's counsel's inability to answer questions about DOJ's chain of command and Musk's role. This is what happened in court. Judge, so who was the head of DOJ before Amy Gleason, government counsel? I can't answer that. I don't know. Judge, that seems like a knowable fact, doesn't it? Government counsel. I'm sure it's knowable. I just don't know it. I'm very conscious of being accurate with the court. I just can't make a representation. Judge, have you asked anybody? Government counsel. I have not asked. Actually, strike that. I have asked previously and I was not able to get an answer. Judge, are you saying there was an administrator before Ms. Gleason or that there was nobody until the new person, Gleason, was put in? Government counsel. I'm not saying either because I don't know. And Bauer goes on to explain the judge went so far as to describe the lack of information as highly suspicious. Quote, I'm not saying you're not being candid, but the whole operation raises questions. Judge, is there a piece of paper, like an appointment paper? Is there one that says Elon Musk, senior advisor to the president? Government counsel. Sorry, now you're talking about Elon Musk, not the DOJ administrator. Judge, the plaintiffs are saying that Musk was the head of DOJ. You're saying he wasn't. But we can't tell you who was, which admittedly is highly suspicious. I'm not saying that you're not being candid, but the whole operation raises questions. There's an affidavit saying he is a senior advisor of the president, but there's a strange disconnect where he has referred to himself in public as affiliated with DOJ and not as a senior advisor to the president until recently after these lawsuits were filed. Having some backup documentation for that would seem to be useful. Harry, we've seen this in a number of courts, but there's a long buildup to get to you, but I thought all of that was helpful context.
No, it really is. So look, you made the point, Ben, you don't want to be in front of a judge and doing that kind of dance prevarication. You really don't want to be in front of a judge if you're a government attorney. They hold them to a higher standard. And these hapless attorneys now, who are the career folks, they're being shooed into court. And there is a sense, I've looked at these transcripts pretty carefully to some extent, and this is why the judge kept saying, I'm not saying you're not being candid. Part of what's happening is they literally don't know. They're being brought out there and there's no fact of the matter, or it's all so obscure to them. Part of it, though, I think, is they're being instructed. Don't say anything about that. Don't say anything about this, because some of their answers are, I can't say, or it's making it very clear to the court how squirrely they are being. And the court, the judges read newspapers, judges see TV. It's so this disconnect where in the public sphere, Musk isn't not only not an advisor, he's like a co-president. At the cabinet meeting, he's standing up and talking more than the president. Everybody knows whatever kind of sleight of hand is involved in giving the official title to this woman nobody has ever heard of, that Musk is exercising the responsibility. And that's what matters, of course, because what's this lawsuit about? It's about saying a guy with this kind of authority and who reports this way to the president has to be nominated by the president and confirmed by the Senate. And the administration, it just wafts off. And a little aside here, by the way, with the way Levitt is, every one of them seems to take this crash course in the Donald Trump Jr., Steve Bannon finishing school of etiquette to learn coming in to just be jerks and push back and be so nasty about what are, of course, natural questions on the minds of the American people. Who is this guy? What brought him there? And what's the power that he is exercising? So, judges and these attorneys know they're going to pin them to the wall. And so the new guard is basically, setting them up for about as miserable an afternoon as government attorneys can have. Judges do not stand for it when government attorneys are candid, and they're just not being candid. We'll see what happens, because some of these judges, they have they've caught the bone and they're not going to let it go. And they'll say, you go back and answer this question, or who would know? I want that person to testify. But the number one thing that's happening is it's so evident, even the lawsuit aside, lawsuit matters a lot, because is he exercising such power as he should be nominated? It sure looks like it in any kind of common sense way. But besides that, the fundamental dishonesty that the judges know, they're the one opportunity for the country to get some kind of straight answers about this unprecedented, bizarre, and very troubling situation where this gazillionaire with no experience whatsoever and conflicts, up past his eyebrows, is calling all the shots and being the effective CEO of the country. So, it was smart to bring this appointments clause lawsuit, and it's going to be a vehicle for the courts to really get at it. And a final point is, it's going to be really, all of this stuff is preliminary. If they hold for the government, it'll still go up to the Court of Appeals, maybe even the Supreme Court. But this is the unique chance at the district court level to get the facts. Get somebody here and you tell me, what he does. I want Mr. Musk here. Get him here. Because that will be the facts that are developed for the courts of appeals to look into. And that's the most we're going to know, right? Whatever Levitt says, they are obviously being anything but candid, and they're trying to obfuscate every way they can.
Yeah, this is one of those Russian babushka dolls, which is,
Exactly.
which
I think it might be
feels-
Matrushka, but it's something. Yeah, right.
whatever,
Yeah, right.
it's
Babushka's a handkerchief and whatever.
whatever. But the dolls that are they're hiding Elon. As Donald Trump lied, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the they're
Right.
hiding the Elons, they're hiding the Doge,
Right.
and
He's just little.
and look, the reality is that they're harming so many people's lives, and they're impacting
really
so
it.
many people's lives, and then they're refusing to stand on business and show the hell up and testify and even explain what it is that they're doing, other than in their social media silos or on their right-wing podcasts or whatever their propaganda platforms are. It's like, you're a public. This is not, you're public positions. You work for us, we the people. So you need to show up and testify in Congress, and members of Congress should be able to ask you questions about why are you doing this? What are you doing? Why are you doing that? That's our system. If you don't like our system, go to freaking Russia. Go
Well,
to
and
another
because
system.
among
That's our
other reasons, he doesn't have legal standing, etc. But Mr. Chainsaw, I mean, he's not qualified. The guy is quite clearly not someone you would put in charge of running the government. He had a few really great ideas, made a lot of money, power to him. But come on, it's on top of his having no legal portfolio. He's a complete inane choice to run the guy, to send out emails to everyone. What have you done? What 5 things have you done this week? The guy is not an efficiency specialist, even if he plays one in Washington.
Harry Littman from the Talking Feds YouTube channel, the Talking Feds podcast, the Talking Feds Substack. It's where I get my legal news from. I hope all of you will also get your legal news from the Talking Feds YouTube, Talking Feds Substack, Talking Feds podcast. Thanks, Harry.
Thank you, Ben. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.